a robot could eventually conduct your blood draw at the doctor's office. A new report says that traffic deaths increase after major music streaming releases. And NASA called off its mission to rescue the falling Swift Observatory. It's Thursday, August 20th, and here's a quick look at some of the news happening in the sphere of tech this morning from Engadget. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved a new product aimed at automating blood draws in outpatient situations. Aletta is a standalone robotic device capable of drawing blood from a patient's arm. It uses near-infrared light and Doppler ultrasound to identify a vein and then automates the other processes of a blood draw, such as applying a tourniquet, inserting and disposing of a needle, and placing a bandage on the patient. A trained phlebotomist must begin the procedure and oversee the device while it is in use, but a single person can monitor up to 3 Aletta robots at once. Michelle Tarver, director of the FDA's Center for Devices and Radiological Health, said that blood draws are one of the most commonly performed medical procedures in the U.S., yet patients may face delays due to a growing shortage of trained phlebotomists. The approval for Aletta was granted based on clinical data showing it was capable of successful blood draws at rates comparable to or better than a phlebotomist. While Aletta may have FDA approval, there's no word yet on when we'll actually start seeing these in doctors' offices. Traffic deaths in the U.S. jumped by 15% in the immediate aftermath of a major music album's release. That's according to a new study published by Harvard Medical School researchers. Now, the study looked at 233,809 fatal collisions between 2017 and 2022, comparing the incidence rate of car accidents on album release days against the 10 days immediately before and after each release. Now, the researchers cross-referenced public crash data from the Federal Fatality Analysis Reporting System with Spotify's daily streaming charts. The latter shows a 43% surge in nationwide music streaming activity on the first day of major album releases from artists like Taylor Swift and Drake. The study focused on a set of 10 albums with the highest number of streams within a single day, indicating periods when people could have been using their phones more frequently while driving. Across the 10 album release dates observed in the study, researchers recorded roughly 182 additional fatalities compared to the baseline. Put another way, they counted 18.2 excess deaths for each day when music streaming surged, possibly because drivers were more likely to interact with their phone's music controls instead of playing their usual choices. The Swift Observatory is expected to re-enter and burn up in the Earth's atmosphere later on this year after NASA has aborted the mission meant to tug it back to a higher orbit. NASA announced that Katalyst Space's Link spacecraft will no longer dock with the satellite and boost it to a higher altitude as planned. The agency blamed it on Link's ongoing attitude control issue, which started in late July. NASA reported at the time that the spacecraft was having problems managing its orientation in orbit, causing it to spin helplessly. That led to sporadic communications with the spacecraft. There was also some loss in functionality to Link's thruster system. NASA and Katalyst were still optimistic last month that the spacecraft could accomplish its goal, but things have clearly changed since then. Katalyst had less than a year to design a spacecraft for the Swift Boost mission, which launched in early July. A spokesperson for the Astrophysics Division at NASA said it was a high-risk, high-reward mission from the start. It was a first-of-its-kind attempt, and the team had very little time to try and rescue the Swift telescope, whose orbit is rapidly decaying due to an increase in solar activity in recent years. NASA's Swift Observatory launched back in 2004 to study gamma-ray bursts, but astronomers are now using it for several other purposes. The agency has been relying on it to obtain critical information quickly when a sudden cosmic event takes place. This mission was supposed to add a decade or so to its life, but going forward, NASA says it will prioritize finding new options to react rapidly to cosmic events, but it will use current missions to help fill the gap for now. Thanks for listening. There's a lot more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Anna Washenko, Calvin Wakaday, and Mariella Moon. Enjoy your day. I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.